Scanning. Identity authorized. Welcome to the Secret Superhero Club Podcast Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the Animation Station Podcast, episode 150. It's our 150th episode. And what better way to talk about and celebrate our 150th episode than with Mr. Elijah Bailey, and we're going to talk the new season of the OA on Netflix.
Oh, wow, that's a change up. Okay, let me get ready for that one.
No, we're going to be talking about the 7 Deadly Sins.
Yes.
But before we talk about that, this episode is sponsored by Funimation. All you have to do is go to our link in our description and get 2 free weeks of anime. That's 2 free weeks of anime. 14 days. That's 7 days for 1 week of anime, and then another 7 days for another week of anime. Combine those together, that's 14 days, or, if my math is right, 2 weeks of free anime. And yeah, so
I think I said yeah, but I just counted 15.
Counted 14?
I counted 15, so
15?
I'm ahead of the curve.
Maybe you get an extra day. You get 15. Oh God, now I've got
14
15 days. You get 14 days of free anime. Again, just go to the link in the description, click on that, it'll take you over there. You support the ASP and you get free anime. Nice. It's a match made in heaven. So the ASP and Funimation, you should be watching and listening.
That's perfect.
We put that listening part in there because that's not their real slogan. It's just you should be watching. So we kind of we sneak that in there. We sneak that in a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, you do what you can, man. You know, I coffee Folgers came out with. They were like the Folgers. So, and I don't know why I haven't released it yet. I made a the Folgers coffee commercial, and then I made Kroger's, kind of like a play off of South Park. And I did a commercial, and then I did Moby Dick's coffee. So we're just transforming this thing all the way down to where we can be as lewd as we want in these commercials without offending anybody. But yeah.
Yeah, you know. Literary references all works out.
They always do. Except for with your wife. They never.
Yeah, no. When you do, it's like in your way, it never works out.
No.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, 7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah, 7 Deadly. It should be the 8 Deadly Sins, but I went ahead, I took some time off, missed the first season, the OVA, the second season, but third season, coming back strong.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Third season, Elijah will be there as
the deadly sin of churros.
Of
churros, yes. It's like a time classic food. It's basically a meal for me. Churros, Pop-Tarts, and cereal is all I ate before I met my wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you know that they make cinnamon toast churros now?
No, I did not.
When I went to go get cereal yesterday, I was like, I haven't had cereal in a long time. I'm going to get some cereal. So I got some Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and right underneath was Cinnamon
churros?
Toast Churros. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me.
It's like, I told my wife, I was like, I'll get home and I'll eat some cereal. So now I have something to stop at the store for, because I try not to stop at Walmart as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, I refuse to stop at Walmart, so...
Well, I'm glad. That's
I
one person that
Target.
saved themselves.
I go to Target though. So.
I mean, Target still has some play. Still has some stroke.
Yeah. I would
that right there. Yeah, it's like that tells the story right there.
Yeah,
it's very depressing.
I spent too much money at Target.
All you have to do is wear khakis and a red shirt. Everything's free. So
they don't even wear the khakis anymore.
Oh, wow.
They're all jeans now. So it's your jeans and a red shirt.
Okay, that still works. Like Walmart's wear whatever you want. We want you to trick customers into believing that you're a customer too. We don't want to help anybody. So
yeah, no. It's just kind of blend in. If you can put something over your name tag, that works too. Just blend in as much as you can.
Like you have girls wearing name tags that say Maurice and Marcus. That's I don't want to dispute you on what your name is, but I feel like that's not your name. But I do hear there's a lot of harassment charges from vendors at Walmart. So a lot of people are doing things like that. So they're not harassed by the men and women that come in off the streets to stock up. So
I can see that.
It's Walmart. Sam's gone. So
it's just Walmart now.
Back to Meliodas, though.
Yeah. So let's...
Captain, as I call him.
The captain, yeah. So let's kind of talk about 7 Deadly Sins. So we have our wonderful... characters, so we have Meliodas, and we're gonna do the English dubs, just because that's how I watched it. Did you watch the English, or did you watch the dub or the sub?
Both.
You did both?
Yes.
Look at you.
I took like last time we talked about like Cowboy Bebop and Trigun. I do both to see what I might be missing, and then I like to hear the voices too because I know I watched My Hero subs when I started watching with my wife. We watched dub, and I was like, it's completely different, but it's still enjoyable. Each voice has its own range, its own tone, its own characteristics. So I dabble in the world of duality.
Duality.
Yeah.
I'm a basic, so I only watch the dubs. So that's what I'm going to be used to.
That's not basic. That's just like you have a strict preference, which is cool. Like everything that we watch on Toonami was dubbed, so
yeah, exactly.
It's nostalgia.
And, it's one of those like, but I watched like all of Naruto, like subbed.
Yeah,
like I watched
it's a lot.
Like all of it.
500 episodes. Oh, that's Shippuden. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
9,000 episodes.
Yeah, there you go. I was about to say, like, there's at least 1,000 episodes in
Yeah.
Naruto before we got to Shippuden.
Yes.
And now Boruto. We're going to have like 30,000 episodes of Boruto now.
And then Koruto is after that. I think Boruto's son, Koruto. And then Naruto.
Naruto. What about Kirito?
Oh, yeah, there we go. See,
Then that's where it kind of merges.
Yeah.
Like you find out that, Naruto is somehow related to Kirito.
There we go.
In the distant future.
Reincarnation with Kurama. There we go.
There you go. That's why Kirito is so important. And why Bryce voices No. Well, no, let's screw that. That was dumb. All right, so scrap it and cut and redo. All right, so we have Meliodas, who was our Dragonson of Wrath, voiced by Mr. Bryce Pappenbrook, friend of the show. Then we have Diane, the Serpent Sin of Envy, voiced by Erica Mendez. Bond, the Fox Sin of Greed, voiced by my boy Ben Diskin, who Ben Diskin has had a ridiculous career. Like, it's one of those, when you start looking at his stuff,
you're like, how did
do you want to know
here's
so Ben Diskin, did you watch Codename Kids Next Door?
Oh yeah,
number 1 and number 2. That's him. That's Bond.
Nice.
And you're just like, wait, what? Like, it just like blows your mind. You're just like, oh, did not expect that. Did not expect that at all.
Tonally
completely different.
It's, you would like, there's certain people where you can pick up hints of their voice, and then sometimes like I couldn't tell. Like, you could stand all 5 of my characters side by side, sound like completely different people. So that's cool.
Like, he's also in Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. He's in Agretsuko. He's in all kinds of stuff, and you're just like, yeah, no, he's that's how you know a good voice actor, when you can't really tell the difference. Like, you can't hear them. That's when you know you got.
I thought it was when you can't tell that they're actually speaking words. Like, that's what Monica tells me all the time. Like,
that too.
It's like, I'm talking. She's like, no, you're perfect the way you are. So, but who else we got?
We've got King, who is the Grisly Sin of Sloth, voiced by Max Middleman. And then Gother, the Goat Sin of Lust, voiced by Eric Stott Krimmer, and Merlin, the Boar Sin of Gluttony, voiced by Lauren Landa, right? Lauren Landa. And then Escanor, the Lion Sin of Pride, voiced also by friend of the show, Mr. Kyle Hebert.
The most disrespectful member of the team, and I love it. He's so disrespectful.
He's amazing, though. Absolutely love him.
Dude.
Because it's one of those where you're like, you're a BA. Then it's just like, yeah, no, I'm just the best.
I'll give you a second chance to slap me. Just this once. Because you didn't make it. He's like, I
would like to make this a little bit more challenging.
Exactly. Let me throw down my axe. Let me take off my armor. Oh, that's not going to hurt me. I'm like, dude, this is Trash Talk 101. I love it.
Dude's amazing. Then you have Elizabeth, voiced by Erica Harlacher, and then Hawk, voiced by the incomparable Christina V.
Hawk. Captain Hawk, the Order of Scraps.
Or Scraps Disposal.
That was just, it was so insane. Like, you get to talk. I was like, oh, my wife's going to love this show when I first started watching it. It's like, oh, we get a talking pig. And it's like, oh, like, he's kind of like Delusions of Granger, kind of delusional, but I like it. He adds so much depth to counteract Meliodas's pervertedness, which is, I'm still not going to say it's justified, no matter what the backstory is, but it's just, it's there.
Yeah, it's there. For sure. We are also streaming on Unlocked at the moment. And so we may be, popping in a couple little things here and there, just some comments that we've seen. Betsy loves your Naruto shirt.
Oh, thank you.
And Bryce Pappenbrook sing, then you need to listen to the Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Captain Noir Christmas episode. And he sings a wonderful line that is, "I'm a sad, lonely kitty. Won't anybody take pity?" It's fantastic. Amazing. And yeah, it's all Bryce. 100. Oh my gosh, we've got an Inception thing going.
There we go. This is called a Dutch tilt for those that
Dutch
don't know.
tilt.
Yeah, it's a classic from the Batman, the Adam West era. There's a lot of Dutch tilts in that show. It made me feel at home. There we go.
Well, ask him to sing. He sings on the streams. He doesn't sing on the streams, but you never know.
You never know.
You never know. So, let's just first off, who's your favorite?
Dude, you're gonna hit me with...
I'm gonna hit you hard.
Hard.
Who's your favorite on? Who's your favorite character?
Okay. Now, we talked about this. I'm getting the dragons and the rat tattoo.
Yeah.
I want the fox, but I have to say Escanor is my favorite
His
sin.
tat is like the coolest too.
Oh, yeah.
Like that big ass lion.
Yeah, on his back.
Yeah.
And then he's just, again, 100% disrespectful, but he can back it up. And then to find out his backstory, like why he is so powerful, Escanor he's my favorite. And then after that, it's hard. It's hard to distinguish between Meliodas and Bon, because Bon's immortal, Meliodas is essentially like immortal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Escanor. Who's yours?
Well, see, it's Meliodas and then King. Like, I love King.
King is, I don't know why he transformed into like a dopey human.
I know, I hate that. Whenever he's like a little king, I'm like, I would love a I want to have a D&D character that is just King. Just like floating and like using like the telekinetic, spear and everything. Like, I think that would be fantastic. Dude. I don't know how you would work that character.
It
like is impossible to play. It would be super homebrew.
Fun.
It would be super homebrew. Oh yeah, it would be fun. But no, yeah, like stuff like that. Like, I love King, and like King and Diane. Like that's my jam. Like I love that entire yeah, because it's such a sad story.
The fact, like, once we get into the second season, we figure out that she's lost her memory, and then she spends that time. And it's funny because she realizes it's King after she thinks it's Meliodas for so long, which I didn't even realize in the first season. I just knew that she was in love with Captain. I was like, oh, yeah. Captain, she loved Meliodas. But then how he took care of her and didn't take advantage for her. He had, again, another very pure, innocent type deal. He took care of her as she grew up, and then all of a sudden they part their ways, and that love on his side is still there, and she's kind of struggling to find what her love is. And then she starts noticing these things, and her memory starts coming back, and but it makes her that much more of a badass, like all the stuff that she's been through. So yeah, King, Deanne, awesome.
Yeah, that's my jam. That King and Deanne, like, if I could just have that whole entire series. Like,
because that's what you wanted from Meliodas and Elizabeth, but
exactly.
we don't get that.
You're never going to get that. You're never going to get it. Like, no. They kind of do a little bit when they went to, when she was just Liz.
Yeah.
When she was short-haired and everything. Yeah. I was like, man, you could do like a whole like mini arc on just like Meliodas and Liz. Because you only get like a little bit here and there. And then that's it. And you're just like, just give me more, man. Like,
that's all you want, because his personality is so different, and for him to betray his own kind during this huge war, basically for love, that speaks to him. But he's also, we find out at the end of the second season, troubled with his own immortality, I guess. And so he starts to lose pieces of himself while gaining other aspects of himself he didn't want. And then this was something that me and Richard talked about. Like, is the devil, the Demon King, is that his dad or not? Or are all demons his children? Like,
I think it would be like all demons would be his children type of thing.
Because I know, like Merlin, That girl's cold.
Yeah.
Or that entity is cold. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what the heck Merlin is. It's like, what is Merlin?
When she spoke in the actual language and told them her name, they started tripping out. I was like, oh yeah, it's about to go down now. She's doing the Escanor shit right now. But even her extending her life cycle, like it's like almost everybody on that. I think everybody is like Deanne's gonna die at some point, I guess, but everybody else is immortal, aren't they? King.
Well, I don't know. Do the giants die?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
because you just see her growing from a little girl into her adult body, but then also her mentor, which I forget her name, she's still around, even though they thought she died in battle.
And it's one of those like you don't see any old giants. You know, it's like maybe when a giant just grows, maybe they're like elves. They're like when they hit like their thing, they're just like boom, they're there.
We're there forever.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I don't think King will ever die and we don't like do we ever know how long King and Diane spend together when she's a little girl?
I don't know, because I don't know how many years.
For whatever reason I thought it was like 50, but I mean that doesn't make any sense.
I was gonna say like 70 or 80, but I'm not sure. It was a long time. It was somewhere around there.
Yeah, so it's one of those. Ashley says that Diane was a kid for decades. So it's like, well, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But oh man, when he had to, do his little flower thing and make her forget, I was like, bro,
yeah,
it hurts inside.
Dude,
it
that
really
just
does.
Like, just remember that just made the back of my head start tingling. Yeah, it sucks so bad because he wants that connection, that love, that bond, and he has to give it up. And then like even him and his best friend Bond, which is weird because they're best friends, but Meliodas and Bond are best friends. Like
everybody is best friends with Bond,
chasing best friends. Yeah, Bond is that he comes in as a chef. He can cook. Even when he had his mustache and shaggy hair, he looked cold. And then he evaded all of Jericho's sword attacks and got trimmed up. He's like, "Oh, thank you, that was nice." And he can be essentially, because he's immortal the way he is, he can stand toe to toe with Meliodas, and so I think that strengthens their bond. But yeah, like the things that King have had to go through throughout season 1 all the way through where we are now is just, it's like, dude, like if you are an immortal being, eventually throughout time that those feelings and the remorse and regret and stuff, that'll fade, but you're still young and you're living through it now, and then the team just got back together, so everything's really fresh.
Yeah, that
sucks for him. But yeah, King's a badass too. He stabbed Bond right in the chest when they met.
No,
he's pissed.
Just no,
warning, no
nothing.
One's
just like buff, and you're just like,
you know what you
damn
did.
son.
Yeah.
And his cool little flower cannon deal, that thing's dope.
That reminded me of somebody else has something like that where it blossoms. Oh, Black Clover. I'm caught up on Black Clover, and
is it good? Like I don't know if like I've been wondering if I should watch it or not.
When I first started watching the first episode, I was like, oh, this is a knockoff of Naruto. And then the main character Asta's just yelling all the time. I said, dude, I'm gonna give it 4 episodes like I do everything, and this was no assignment or anything. I was like, I just want to check it out. And then over time, I was like, okay, I understand his character, so it's not as bothersome. But other people like, he just yells, he does this, and he's just so full of energy and ready to go to the next deal and ready to progress. It kind of wears him down. I feel like it's good. The diversity in different kind of magic and the strategy that goes with them, working with the team individually. How do you get stronger? How do you make it to this apex of Hokage or Wizard King when you have like an alignment of magic knights and everybody's fighting for the same position? Then you have a captain of those knights, and so I think like the depth that it offers is really interesting. But yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh man, she's got the same kind of like flower cannon the King does. I was just watching, what was it, episode like 57, 58, 75.
Oh, good lord. They already have that many?
Yeah.
Lord.
I'm not good with episode numbers. I always have to look.
Yeah, same thing. We've done all these episodes, and I'm like, I constantly be like, what episode is this? Oh, that's the episode that we're on. Oh, man. And like, everyone in the chat is talking about Meliodas being a perv. And everything like that. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, they were like together for a while, so
like I'm not gonna say that I do the same things with my wife or not. I'm just saying that Meliodas does.
You just go up and like flip her skirt and just like, oh yeah, we're wearing bunnies today.
I mean, sweatpants season is over now. It's sundress season, and sometime no, I'm joking. But it does kind of take you off because I mean, like he's got his head underneath the dress and all that. I was like, oh, he's going hardcore. This is what Master Roshi did in his younger days if he could. But it's so weird because you watch that whole first season, like what's going on? Like, oh, they have a pre-existing history. Then it gets further in depth. And Meliodas like, stay away from my woman. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now I kind of see it. But yeah, he does perv out. He is the ultimate. I did a poll, and people still think Master Roshi is more pervy.
Really?
And I said Meliodas has been more pervy in 2 seasons than Master Roshi has been since the beginning of Dragon Ball. Like, no joke.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's Master. I mean, Master Roshi's great, and that's all he does. He doesn't like go up and like grow Bulma.
He falls into things,
you know,
and his plans backfire.
He does those very, you know, the anime falls, which I mean, when you fall in anime, you always have to go hands first because you mean
it's happened to me so many times. Like if I had $1 for every time I've fallen like they do in the anime, I'd be rich. It happens. It just like I have big feet anyway. I wear a size 16. I trip over my feet. You want stability, balance. That's what women offer, I guess. That's
stability and balance.
Stability and balance in your life. That's what they offer.
Oh man, jeez. Yeah, and I don't know, like the whole like Jericho. Like Jericho's a fun character.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like Jericho. I wish they would have done more with Jericho because I don't know what they're planning on doing. Because like the whole bit with her and Bon, I totally thought that was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But but he's in love with like the fairy girl.
Is it Elena?
Alana, something.
Something like that. Yeah.
I'm just like I don't care about her. It's like should have died. Should have stayed dead.
Yeah, that was weird.
But I really liked her and Jericho together, and I don't know, like. It hurt when that didn't happen. I was like, man.
And then didn't her brother die?
Yeah, then her brother dies, and then now she's got his powers.
Yeah,
which is cool because I mean she was just a regular human.
Yeah, the apex of what a holy knight could be, but now she's got the ice power. So
now she can be
even more. Yeah.
So hopefully she can do something interesting because I mean there's been a lot of times where she's just like
in the background, just like not even fought her, just like
because
sitting
like,
there,
she can't
cheering.
do anything. Like, she's like, yeah, get him, and you're like, I could rush in there, I die, or you'd have to save me.
Yeah, I do like that over vulnerability she has sometimes because she thought she was King Poobah, and then she got put in her place, and then all these other circumstances have happened where what you believe the 7 deadly sins to be is not true. They're actually still saviors, and so where does that put her? And she's got this infatuation with Bon, so she's kind of thrown off her game. But I think they could draw back a little bit more on her invulnerability and give her more of a sense of drive and purpose to be what she aspires to be, because she always talks about being a better holy knight and, you know, standing amongst the top in some sense, but it's like they're not giving her
the ability to do that.
Yeah, the vehicles to get there.
Yeah. Did you watch Prisoners of the Sky?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What'd you think about that?
Meliodas' twin.
Yeah.
It was
and my boy Johnny Young Bosch doing his thing. I was like, is that Johnny?
It was nice. I like the fact that you had another group of demons, like not even a top tier demons. Like you were the ones that could make it into.
Yeah.
Like it's like
you're like the Ginyu Force. I mean, we had the Ginyu Force of demons, like
the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they couldn't make it, and then they got defeated. And it's so weird because I forget the main villain or the leader, but he's like talking about this Meliodas did this and Meliodas did that, and it kind of made me think back to the second season when Escanor was fighting one of Meliodas's, like I call them the triplets, because they all kind of look a little bit alike, and I don't know if they all are biological demon brothers.
Yeah, but
somebody mentioned like you're still keeping that form, so Meliodas is keeping his young
before he goes hulks out and does his thing,
turns into a big adult. So I wonder what Meliodas looked like, because all the clips that we have, he's the short Meliodas. Like when they go back, he's standing there with the crew, they're walking, whether it's a silhouette or anything, and he's still short. But when they had these candidates to be a part of that group, was he like fully grown Papa Meliodas that was like, hey, I ain't taking no shit. You guys better be on point. You're not gonna make it into our boy band or our rock band if you don't get your stuff together. But he didn't recognize Meliodas the whole time, and that kind of took me out of it. I was like, even his face, he doesn't have the little goatee, but it resembles. You should have known this was Meliodas.
Yeah, it's like, and I mean, he's got his brother too, and you're just like, they all kind of like look the same, and it's really bizarre that this new dude looks exactly like Meliodas, like to a T, like enough to where everyone like gets them confused.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the fact that Mama Hawk is the legendary like being that, and it's crazy to see all that grass and then it starts to crack off our butt and you see like the shining white light. You're like, okay, so what's that have in store for the captain of the scraps? Like what is Hawk gonna do? And Mama Hawk, like, she's taking blasts, she's eating like strong attacks, so you knew something was up with her, but it's like, dude, we're finally getting some information. She's the one that stopped the war, along with Meliodas changing sides. So what's the next step for the Sins and King Arthur and those guys? Because they kind of left them out, like, oh, we're getting attacked and I need to get stronger. And then he basically followed him around a little bit. And then
it's like, what's King Arthur doing? He's just like, yeah, I'm here at Camelot.
Exactly. I need
Hi,
friends.
guys.
Need friends. Like, Merlin was my friend for a while. Now I have no friends. What am I doing?
Remember when she was saving us, and now she left, and now everything's gone.
She put up that barrier. Only lasted for 3 hits. Then Meliodas had to do the shadow clone technique and do the
Got his
full
little
counter.
shadow clone jutsu deal, yeah.
But yeah, man, it's nice to see how like that film tied into just the dynamic of the group, because now we know in the story all the Sins are together, so we know exactly where that's taking place at. But it had its own standalone. It's just giving us backstory into the war that happened before between all 7 or 8 different humans, demi-humans.
Yeah. They're talking about height in the chat. I don't understand it. I don't know. They're like, Bryce Papenbrook is short, Johnny Young Bosch is short. And I'm like, well, yeah, I've said for years that Bryce Papenbrook is short. Yeah. I mean, he's like 4'2", man.
I was going to 4'1", 4 foot even.
Yeah,
but the big things come in small packages.
Yes, he very much, Crystal. He is pocket size. You just take a Bryce, put him in your pocket. Take a little Bryce and put it in your pocket. And I don't know what that means.
I know what that means. That's code right there.
That's code.
That's 7 Deadly Sins code.
Do you have any? So we're not really gonna. I mean, because if they're listening to this episode, they've watched 7 Deadly Sins. We're not gonna go over like every single episode.
No, we're gonna do episode by episode, minute by minute, play by play.
Let's go. Let's start off with
opening scene. Anime. Grass.
Opening scene grass. Well, no, I don't think it was grass. I think opening scene was like...
It's creative liberties here.
Yes.
It's killing my thunder. Yeah.
Opening scene was like a bunch of dead knights like in the Capitol. And they were like, it's the 7 deadly sins!
They're so horrible.
Like, it's like, really? They did that? You guys suck.
Yeah, that is true. Like, because one sin is worth 100 holy knights. Like, dude, why do you guys even like...
Why do you even exist? Just stop.
Exactly. Here's a quick, like, the power levels. Did you like the fact they brought power levels into the show?
No, I thought that was stupid. Yeah. I hated that.
It's more chance for Hawk to get dialogue, which is always funny. Like, oh, well, my power's so strong. Meliodas, go handle my light work. Go do this. Oh, Bond, you'll never win. And it's. I
did like they were like, okay, we're not going to give him a scouter. Let's give him an earring.
Yeah, and then he can see. Yeah. He's the new Vegeta.
He's Nappa. If anything, he's Nappa.
Nappa Raditz.
He's like Jace. He's there for the comic relief.
Okay,
he's from Space Australia.
There we go.
Jace. But no, yeah, like when they're looking at everything and they're like, oh, he's like poor Meliodas. He's so weak. And then they're like, oh yeah, no, he's like not charged.
Yeah,
he's like this is in his human form.
Did you think that he was gonna have like a power up that way? Like his power was hidden in this like pocket world, and he had to go through a trial to get it back.
See, I thought that was cool. I thought that was a nifty thing, and like the same thing that they were doing with Elizabeth, like when they were playing that whole deal. Like, I hope they come back. Like those three people. I'm like,
druids,
the druid people. I was like, they seem pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I would love for them to bring back the druids.
And another love interest is amongst them.
Everybody gets a love. Meliodas is like a player.
He is, but he only touches one booty. That is Elizabeth. That's the only one that he's actually going for. But everybody likes him. Even his brothers and the rest of them, they still revere him as their leader. They're mad that he betrayed them, but there's like, no, there's no way he'd ever lose. There's no way he'd do this, he'd do that. And then, spoilers, he gets killed. And like, I think in the back of their head, they know, like, oh, this is Meliodas. He'll be back, and then we'll get him back the way he used to be. But everybody is gravitating directly to him, no matter if it's the archangels or whatever. They know of Meliodas, the dragon sin, the ultimate commander of the armies of the underworld. It's crazy.
Do you think so? I would love for them to bring the archangels back, because I mean, they do a little bit in the Sky one, like in the movie, but then I mean, like, because they're all wiped out, basically all like were wiped out previously in the war. So I would love for them to kind of bring them back and have them actually have more of a part,
because the one that they did bring back, old boy with the he had the Pegasus. You know how Pegasus had the Pegasus beard,
he did.
And he gave up his life to summon one, and then she was like, wait a second.
So you guys want me to fight demons? Yeah, deuces. And she was like,
and she looks, she's like, I know you. She's like, hey, they summoned me down here. I wasn't back then. I was just doing my job. If you just let me go this one time, pretty please. And then immediately killing you. Like, how strong was Meliodas? Like, Meliodas creates strong groups based off of whatever criteria he finds these people. You know, we're going to put this together. And the deal between him and Merlin is curious too, because, you know, her daddy is demon papa. So he is under her. So why are they working together? What schemes does she have? Like,
oh, see, that the whole bit with Merlin, I'm just like, I don't know what she's supposed to be. Yeah. Like, she's a very complex character. Like, everybody else, you kind of get, you know, what's going on with them. Like, you kind of know about Escanor. Be like, simple. Yeah, he was, you know, weakling, you know, got stronger. He One Punch Manned it. And then he did a lot of put up squats, ran like 3 miles every day.
And then Bond had a troubled past, but he knows who he is. Like, he has always been a thief since the beginning. That whole bit with
Elaine, and that helped him.
All he wants is his love.
You know about Diane and King. And then,
now Garth, I said Garther. Gother is a puppet.
Yeah.
So that is kind of weird, because he, like, you can tell he's.
But it's like, it's a puppet created by Merlin, though.
Exactly.
So
lusting.
Like,
he kind of like Vision or Red Tornado. I want to be human, so let me do things that human do.
Thank you for the Red Tornado reference. Yeah. I was like, oh, I freaking love Red Tornado.
Red Tornado's awesome, dude. Yeah, he's the Mr. Rogers.
He is. Yeah. He's the that's perfect. Because I mean, like, I don't know if you've read the old Young Justice comics. He is so Mr. Rogers in that. He's just like, guys, please, just lights out. Yeah. After 10, that's all I want. He's like, bye.
See ya. Yeah.
Thanks, Red Tornado.
He is the nice guy, and that's the same exact thing. He's just there to figure out human emotion and compassion, and then I guess, like, his overall goal is to apply it to himself. But we get like a little spoiler at the end. He's not a sin, like, and they lock him up and let him out, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's 7 deadly sin. He's like, I'm Gother of the and it's not the
Wolf Demon tribe.
Yeah.
He and Koga, they brothers.
He's the third one following him around while the other two are like, Koga, slow down.
Gother's just like, is that a bird? And he just like runs away. He
almost reminds me a little bit of Android 16, because he's just in that, except for when he does get emotional, which we don't know how he's becoming emotional. Like, he wipes the girl's mind, and her brother is like, yes, I want you to be with me, sparkle, sparkle, and he hits his stance and stuff like that. But he has this allure to him out of all the characters. Bond's straightforward. If you're an ass, Bond's going to tell you. If King, Deanne, they're figuring out their own deal. They're more of a team. I like their team combos. Meliodas is struggling with identity. Elizabeth still really doesn't know where she's at. She just wants to help the group. Merlin's got her own devices. Escanor loves Merlin, trying to prove himself. He's like, I'm the knight that proves himself to the princess. And then Gother's just like, I want something of my own, but I don't know what it is yet. So it's just like that perpetual search for the unknown.
Yeah.
He feels like he knows what it is, but he doesn't really know at all what it is. And then they have to kind of shut him down a little bit. It's kind of disenchanting, but it also attracts you to that character. Like everybody else has got this stuff going on. What does he really have going on? And is he outsmarting his creator? Is he not a part of the team? Is he a part of the team? Like, what's going on? Because everything he's done so far has just been when he's out in the forest, when he...
It's been for Gother.
Yeah.
It's not been for anybody else. It's just all been for Gother.
But I guess that kind of makes sense as a sin of lust. It's your personal pleasure, which his would be, I guess, having a home or having a place amongst whatever the tribes, the demigods, or his 7 deadly sins, or his friends, whatever.
So it's just Merlin's that one character that we still don't know what the heck she's doing. Because we know about everybody else. It's just Merlin's like, what's her plan? Like, what's her big thing that she wants to do? Does she want to be king of heaven? Is that what she wants? She want to overthrow Daddy and become big Papa of hell? Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I could see like a big shadowy figure in that pit that we saw. Meliodas was talking so much trash, but we see this figure, and you see Merlin walking up in the booty shorts and the little cape. And it's almost reminiscent of Yusuke meeting his dad for the first time, like walking into that room. But Merlin has been doing so much over the course of the seasons and the OVAs that she's got all this. I feel like that's what it was. I feel like she was supposed to do something she didn't want to do, and found a way to extend the life cycle and gather all this information to see if there's a way to. I want to say kill her dad, because it always comes down to that.
It's always coming down to we got to kill Dad.
But I don't know. She is a mystery. She is a big cluster.
Man. Do you like any of the knights? Like the Holy Knights?
Dude. Dreyfus was okay.
I like Gilthunder. I mean, he's kind of he's just like I don't know. He's just like a BA, you know.
But they like over and underutilize. So any knight that they overutilize in the first season, they underutilize in the second season, and vice versa. And then they had those 3 knights like, we're just supposed to sit here and accept the 7 deadly sins have saved us. Like, dude, just because you're ignorant and dumb to the fact of how strong they are doesn't mean you have to ignore what they did. But yeah, Gilthunder is that levity you need. Dreyfus is just like, I just like his facial hair and stuff. Yeah. It's like he like the eyes and the goatee and stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah. We're good here. Like, you're part of the club, so I ain't gonna say nothing bad about you. But other than that, not really, because it's so focused on everybody else and all these other species. You had the whole 2 or 3 episodes where it talked about the giant race. Then we find out information about the demon race. Then you have the humans who are at the low end of the totem pole that hire giants. And so, that's how they collab together. Then you have the angels and everything else, the druids. It's a lot to really focus on normal human knights, where their arc is kind of ended, because now it's heavily on the sins fulfilling whatever their destiny is. Mm-hmm. So... yeah.
I do dig Hendrickson, though, with like the white hair and everything. I think he's pretty dope.
Did he?
Yeah, white hair, little.
The strip.
The one strip.
He was the one that got transformed with the demon blood, wasn't it? Yeah. He was okay.
And then he came back and he was just like, no, I'm gonna go back.
Because he ate not humble pie but a humble cake. He understood that he wasn't nothing but a play toy. He was a trick on a night that they needed him. And then Elaine stepped in, Hawk stepped in, Meliodas, he stepped in a little bit, but it's mainly those two. I like his redemption, and it shows like, this is why I did it. I was like, okay, there's a good backstory. Not just like I wanted to be evil, but it was either you or him. You got taken over, and this is the way you kind of protect him. But your body got taken over, and then you did all this stuff, and that story back and forth of that friendship, trying to protect each other and being taken over by demons. That's pretty compelling. But like, where does it go after this? Like, they did what they could do, and it wasn't enough. So where can they go like this next season?
Yeah.
But the characters are nice though.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those, like, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure what they're gonna do with it. I mean, I still want to see more stuff, like, obviously, but at the same time, it's like it's really weird. Like, they're gonna have to fight they're gonna have to fight the commandments.
Yeah.
So like that's a have to. They have to do that. But I don't know what else they're gonna do. It's like, so what happens when they beat the 10 Commandments? It's like, is that just the end of the series? Is there something else? So then they gotta go beat, Merlin's dad. Is that what happens next?
That would be more where I'm thinking it's going, because after you defeat the commandments, like everybody, like Bond has already left the group and come back. He's got his happiness, kind of. Like, I don't remember what it is. I think when the former fairy king dies, that Elaine will die as well.
I believe so.
So I know he's on this deal to help Meliodas, but also protect his love, because it's been, even though he doesn't show it, the disassociation he had from his real family was something that haunted him. And then when he got his step dad, and then he left, that kind of wore him as well. So Elaine was his last bit of faith in the human world, kind of like with Dracula in Castlevania. Like, after his wife was gone, he was like, there is nothing else.
We're just going to kill everybody now.
Yeah.
We're going to eat the babies.
Exactly. and your blood's going to be everywhere. And I think Bond with Elaine is she's pulled him back into more of his human side, because the real reason he hangs out with Meliodas is like, that's an equal. Like, nothing he does to this person, Meliodas is not going away. Nothing Meliodas does to him is not going away. So Bond's whole journey in the series is finding a connection that won't end like the previous 3 that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
So
we just got to kill Elaine,
yeah,
and then he can be with Jericho, and then we all win. That's just, then everybody wins when that happens.
I don't know. I don't know what Jericho would do. I'd feel like she would be like so shy for like the next 2 seasons before she started. Like, it'd have to be something where she knows that Bond respects her, and they have like almost that sibling.
They definitely have like a brother-sister relationship.
Because he's like, I'm ignoring you, and then she's like, well, I'm gonna do this, and he just moves out of the way, or she can. I mean, he doesn't care about getting stabbed at all. So, but yeah, I think it's going towards like a bigger deal. Like, the commandments are that first stepping stool to kind of to show them where they are, and then the big daddy's going to come in, and it might create another war. It might be they put the armor back on like they used to and get out there
and actually have to go out and because I think it's hilarious that like they don't don armor. Like, there's all these knights like in armor and everything, and then it's just like Meliodas is in like a shirt and some like joggers. Capris. And you're just like, all right, bro.
It's like, we're ready. I don't even have a real, and to get their sacred weapons back.
Bond just wears pants. It's just like, there you go. I'm good.
Bond reminds me of Eddie Murphy in Raw and Delirious. He's just wearing leather around. Eddie Raw first season, Delirious the second season, got a new updated take. And then Merlin designed the clothes, didn't she? I think so.
Merlin designed Diane's clothes.
And then did she do Bond's? Or?
She may have done Bond's.
Okay, but yeah. Everybody's got their own little...
And maybe Gother. Because who the hell knows what the Gother's doing.
Wearing, like, dude, I don't know.
Gother's, like, in shackles half the time. Or
exactly.
is a doll, or nobody knows what the heck he's doing.
Wearing a blouse.
Just like... I would like to wear... I would like to wear the uniform of the bar, please. Like, are you sure? Yes, please.
And he's wearing, like, a skirt and stuff. He's like, what do you do? And everybody's like, what? Like, even Meliodas, he lets a lot of stuff slide. He's like, what are you doing wearing that? He's like, I feel pretty. It's like, and I like the fact he has no set personality, no set gender. Like, he's a puppet, so he does look like a male, but he does, and he wanted a girlfriend, but at the same time he's free to express himself throughout the series. But he is just so crazy. Like, every time I see him, I think of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like every single time.
Yeah, he would do well in JoJo. He would do fantastic. He just needs to get his like leans down, and he'll be great.
Yes, the next JoJo.
His lean and everything down, and he'll be fine. Jeez. Yeah.
I'm gonna start just taking JoJo pictures and posting them on Instagram and Snapchat and stuff. I'm gonna do that for a month straight. So,
are you actually gonna do like?
Oh yeah.
You doing the JoJo poses?
Yeah, just in street clothes, dude. In regular street clothes.
Just like on the street too. Just like in the middle of like downtown. Just like do a JoJo pose.
Okay, this has motivated a lot of date nights. Here,
Just be like, honey,
out.
here, hold this camera and take the picture.
And then hand behind the head, and like, oh, wait a second, let me stretch first, and then hit the pose. Like as soon as I hit the pose,
You gotta take it.
Yeah, I'm getting older now. I gotta take it. Dude, 32 now.
Oh man,
I know. It's been downhill since 15, and I think I'm like arriving at the bottom.
It's been downhill since like 10.
Oh.
Like, when I hit 10, it was like that was the pinnacle. That was the pinnacle of youth.
Yeah, the sandwiches with the crust cut off. It's not gonna get any better than this.
Going to soccer games, and like you would always get like a Sunny D and then like an oatmeal cream pie, and you were like beautiful. Like I don't know why more people don't play soccer, because you get Sunny D and oatmeal cream pies. It's just like a win.
You have touched me in a way no man has touched me before. With that, it's just like right here.
And I mean, that's childhood. It's like now it's like, I don't know, like kale chips.
You know what? I dabble. I'll buy Squeeze-Its and take them home. Capri Suns. I'm not embarrassed. I'll drink them. It's my
Capri
streaming.
Sun is still dope. Like they're just like.
And I always think of what was it? The Incredible World of Alex Mack, when she turned into like the slime and they had the commercial.
The Secret World, yeah.
Secret World, there we go.
Well, like that was one of those things that was like, so Alex Mack was a Capri Sun, and they always had those like Capri Sun commercials when it was like the kids would like turn into everything, and you're just like, how?
Because if I'm a parent,
I drink a Capri Sun. I don't turn into this. And then like, if you ever like taken the Capri Sun and like put them out into like a glass of water or like a glass, it's not the same.
No,
and it's just like it needs the straw.
It's equivalent to having like a clear jar of mandarin oranges and eating all of them out and then pouring that into a glass, and you're like, don't even know why I ate those out of that, but I did, and it tasted good. Am I gonna drink it? I've got to now.
Well, see, the what you do then is then you just take it and you put it in a little container and then put a straw through it, and then you can't see it, and you're just like, oh, well, this kid is playing soccer. Or no, it's like the dude with the windboard. I'm just like, there are no children that windsurf. Like, that is not a thing.
That is a thing. I've seen it once.
A child?
Liam Neeson, when he was younger. It's a family video.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm joking.
I was about to say, if anybody would do it, I don't think it would be Liam Neeson.
No, it's not.
Oh, man.
I think he was a teacher.
Now I want to watch The Secret World of Alex Mack.
Dude, that and Clarissa Explains It All.
Oh, I loved Clarissa Explains It All.
Dude, I'm telling you.
When the dude would like
Ferguson.
What was the dude who like lived next door who always came through?
I want to say Sam, but there's so many shows like that.
I think it was Sam. You'd be like, hey,
come up through the window.
Yeah, he's like, king. He's just like, I love the ones where he would just like pop in and be like she wasn't there, and just like leave and just be like, all right, bye. You're like, bye, Sam.
Clarissa is going to be pregnant in 3 years. If you guys don't fix this window situation, everybody comes in out of this window. She leaves through this window. But yes, the rivalry between her and Ferguson.
That is amazing. I remember the episode where he wanted to join like the junior yacht club.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, first off, there's a junior yacht club? Are you guys rich?
Yes, they are. It's like, Ferguson, you're kind of a nerd, and I love Carlton. Carlton does some of the same stuff you do, but you're nerdy.
And I don't know where she got all of her stuff. Like, we need a giant industrial strength spool of copper wire just for this one scene gag, and they're like, and it's there, and you're like, how?
Why?
And first off, how'd you get that in the door? Sam probably brought it through the window.
Probably. Because it's Sam. He's a good friend.
Yeah.
Like, he did show you what a true friend should be. Mm-hmm. So
always had a hat.
Yep. Coming in your house unannounced, really. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess when the ladder hits
window,
it's
just like, hey, Sam. Or it's like, not now, Sam. And then you're like, the ladder would go away.
Yeah.
You're like, all right.
But yeah, Seven Deadly Sins is a byproduct of
Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah.
She's actually watching she's actually watching Seven Deadly Sins on her little computer.
Ferguson is Escanor.
Ferguson.
He got tired of because the hair. And he just grew a mustache. Got rid of his freckles, put glasses on, opened a tavern out in the middle of nowhere.
By the way, that tavern, like in the middle of nowhere, like when we first meet Escanor, and you're just like, damn, what a cool place.
Dude, it's a nice little hole in the cave. And you got to get travelers, but he's just standing back there waiting for a shipment, cleaning glasses. And I was like, you did not know today your friend Bond was gonna come through the door, but you knew once he entered, there's some shit for you to do.
I love how like he also ignores him the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, and Bond doesn't know who he is either, and you're just like, do you guys not know each other? Or
he's like, "Is that you?" Like, oh, the mustache threw him off. It's like
that's right, yeah,
the
the
mustache. Like,
mustache.
oh, you grew a mustache. Yeah.
Like, really, bro?
Yeah. It's like I kind of look the same.
He like Superman.
Everywhere
He like
else.
Superman. He
Yeah,
just took the glasses
there you
off,
go.
put a little curl, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a completely different person. That doesn't look anything like Clark Kent.
What? Let me ask you something. What's been your favorite kill of the series?
Oh god. I don't know. I want to. I really do still like Escanor's. Like his first when he kills the red Ten
Little-
Commandment dude with
the
the
horns and everything, and he's
because that guy was a dick.
yeah,
Like-
he ran away. He's like, you enter this. What was his truth? Like you
Yeah, it's
couldn't
like-
tell a lie.
Like if we don't fight, then one of us dies or whatever. It's like if you run away, and then he ran
And he
away,
ran
and it was
away.
like you wuss.
And it wasn't even like the depth that they show Escanar. He just had his hand on the floor and the axe up. He was just sitting right in front of him. He's like, this ain't a good idea. I'm going to take that first step in my own death. I know I'm going to die. And he turns and then freezes. I like the one right after that, though, where she ate his soul and burnt up from the inside.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And I was like, yeah, you can't.
You don't mess with that.
Yeah, you can't do it. He's got. But, yeah, that's my favorite one. But best ass whooping, though, is got to be. It's got to be Bond with his.
Well, I don't. I also like when Meliodas died, like when he
When he
like
got-
almost died. When he like
and demons have like 7 hearts. And you
yeah,
stab
and they're
all
like
of them.
stab, and then dude's
Dude.
like he was like, well, I'm sorry, bro, stab, and you're just like, oh,
Dude, it was the best ass whooping I think came in The Prisoner of the Sky when Bond used a 3-section bow staff and on the pin cushion because he stabs him. He's like, yes, this is blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, you want a hug? And broke his back. I was like, dude, he lit you up with hands with 3-section bow staff, and then hugged you to death. And so I think that might be the rawest death
yeah.
in the series so far. But the battles are just the battles drew me in from the very first one where he's like, that sword, that can't be. It's Meliodas, and it's like just a little hilt, a little bit of a blade, and he does a full counter and blows the old big. That was the original.
Well, I mean,
Escanor.
he's freaking Aragorn. He's like,
Yeah.
look, I've got a Isildur sword. See, it's Narsil. I got it. That's basically what it is. But no, I do love the fact that they always it's one of the reasons that I was like, if there's an anime that I would get to do a voice in, I would want to just be like a regular Joe Holy Knight in
and tell stories.
well, no, in that show, just because like they all yell out their attacks, and I'm like, yelling out your attack is amazing. Like when they first go into the city. And like it's just all these other holy knights like, we have to hold them here, boys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, and they're all using their attacks, and then like Bond and them they just go just right through
Yep.
them. And they're like, ah, like that's beautiful. Like I just want to yell at some random stupid attack that makes no sense, and then just like get whooped. But I think it would be amazing.
What would your weapon be?
Oh god,
Sword, lance, brass knuckles.
do they have guns?
I don't know. I don't
I
think
would
they have
love a gun.
guns.
Oh, dual wielding crossbows.
Okay.
Like little hand crossbows, like pop. Then I would want to like wanted it and like bend
and then bend it. So what would you call that attack?
Oh god. 1,000 years of death.
1,000 years of death. There we go. And it's only one arrow.
It's
but...
wait, you shoot one arrow, but then like it expands into like 1,000 arrows.
Okay.
It's like that. That would be
cool.
pretty dope.
That'd be nice. I'm not gonna lie on that one.
And then like, you know, Meliodas just comes over and like flicks me in the head and just be like, ah, and it's just gone.
I will
You're
say,
like, all right, done.
I will say, Meliodas he's very composed when people get assy with him and be challenged him because he's like, and just knocks him off to the side.
Yeah, it's just like, excuse me.
But I like that. I like the duel. Little, like mid-size or just so small. Your bow,
or it could just be like one bow and like you just
Okay.
fire it up in the air and then it's
and then
like
Rain of Death. Okay.
yeah. Oh, what are they like? Oh no, just like, let's make it rain and just do that.
Dude.
And it's just a bunch of little arrows come down.
And killing everybody.
That would be pretty dope.
I like that. Because, see, dude, I need to step my game up. I'm thinking like a bow. Because I just watched Kung Fu Hustle not too long ago. So I was like, not even a spear, just a bow staff.
What would you call the attack?
Bamboo Boken.
Okay.
Bamboo Boken. Because you don't know what a Boken... you do know what Boken is, but it could have a different meaning. And what it does is I start kicking up dust all around, just like Kung Fu Hustle. It makes you go blind. And then at the end of I'm taking it a little bit from you, end of my bow staff, other bows come out. And it's like a branch, like a tree. But I don't want to take anything from Naruto because first Hokage has taken all the tree armament. So Bamboo Boken.
Yeah.
Bamboo Boken. Plus it's the bees. I like
WBB.
bees. Yeah. My last name starts with B, so bees.
Elijah Broadfield. Yeah. That's not it.
No.
Nope.
It could have been, though. Like, at one point in time...
it's never too late. Just go on the courthouse.
I'm just going to quantum leap it.
Yeah.
You know? Leap
Just
into
like
another
Sam
body.
Beckett it. Just like... oh, man. So, if you were to rank this series... I know we've not really talked a whole bunch about it. It's because it's one of those, like... Because it still is kind of new.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like spoil a whole bunch of it. That's why we've basically just talked about characters and everything, and cool kills. But I don't want to start off with like, and Elizabeth first finds Meliodas at the Boar's Head, or what's the What's the name of the tavern?
Boar's Hat.
The Boar's Hat Tavern.
Boar's Noggin.
And they go over, and she collapses, and she's not wearing hardly anything. And then Meliodas caresses her. And I don't want to go through like that whole big long spiel.
Yeah.
So if you were to rank this out of 5.
Ooh, out of 5.
Out of 5.
Okay. Rewatchability, because I've done that several times. It gives me some nostalgia feels, which I always kind of think for. I give it action. I like and I refer this too much, the Pulp Fiction-esque, like how you figure out how things have been going on. Maybe 4.3 out of 5. Yeah, because it still has room to grow. There's still places the story's going, and it's intriguing me. But at the same time, as soon as I'm done with it, I don't have to immediately come back to it and pick it up. But
when you do come back to it, you're just like, okay, I think I can go back.
I
watch
find
Seven
some
Deadly
stuff
Sins again.
that I didn't see the first time, or it's just like, oh man, I love this part. When in the forest and Deanne's using like the little minions and blah blah blah.
Oh, what was it? It's like pork chop and something.
I don't know.
Or
a little ghouly type.
Beef and pork or something like that. I don't remember, like, stupid names.
Those little throwaway characters like that. That's like, oh, I remember this. This is like some of the demons in Yu Yu Hakusho and some of the other deals. Like, they really don't have too much of a role, but they're there. But yeah, 4.3.
Yeah,
4.35.
I give it a solid 4. I give it a solid 4. Just as I don't do like the points or the halves or anything like that, because that was Gavin's thing back when he was on the show, and he would always like, I give it a 4.5. I'm like, no.
I'm bringing it back.
Just give it a 5. It's like round up. But no, I give it a solid 4.
So you're telling me to round down to
no,
4?
No. I give it a solid 4 because it's not quite a 5. Just because maybe when the show actually ends,
then
it'll be a 5. Once I get the full story. But right now, there's still so many questions, which is good. Like it's a good thing that when you have questions. I mean, you don't want to just wrap everything up and then people sit there and are like, "Yeah, I know what you're doing." Yeah. Like, I know where you're going to go with this. I know what to expect.
It's not surprising. Do I really want to watch this week, or can I wait, 2-3 weeks and just binge the last part of it? Yeah.
But I give it a solid 4 just because it's good. King and Diane. That's my whole reason for giving it a 4.
Oh, King and Diane. Okay.
King and Diane. That's my jam.
I love the diversity with the women that are in the show, because you have women that like Jericho couldn't be technically a holy knight, and then could be a holy knight. And it's like all these different aspects make you think about these characters individually. And then you think about those collective groups. How do all the holy knights feel about the commandments or the sins? How do the commandments feel about this? Yeah. Seems like a lot of animosity and hate for Meliodas. Meliodas, what is his actual goal, and how are the things that are going on going to change him, and how will that change the dynamic of the team? So
then there's what's his is it Veronica, the little purple second princess one? I think it's Veronica. But no, like she's pretty BA. I mean, basically sacrifices herself for her sister. And you're like, damn. Then she comes back, and you're like, yeah. Everybody comes back. That's just the way it is.
Let me see. Is it? I think it might be
because she's the one that likes Gil Thunder.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Even though he's a small baby now, or no, I don't think he's a baby anymore.
No,
he's back to a. Oh yeah, that's right. They were in bed, and he grew back to a big boy, and they were like, "Oh."
All his clothes ripped off.
Yep.
Look at them. Look at them legs she got right there. She got
her little outfit. Just like, oof, like a lord.
But I do like the hair. But yeah, like the artwork and the way that they created each character, gave them the personality. It's so far, not only in my corner, but ahead of some of the other shows are doing. They're kind of slow balling, like, oh, well, we'll develop the character and create this character over 10 episodes, where you're coming to a continuity, like, oh, the war already happened. They already have their personalities. Like, they're traitors to the kingdom. But we're going to tell their story anyway. And then this one girl is going to go find them because of this huge tragedy. So will they help her if they're bad guys? Will they not? So
It's overall it's a really good series. Yeah. Like I thoroughly enjoy it. Oh, well, thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, no problem.
We get you 2 in a row, and then we'll see you in 6 years, and then we'll come back on.
I feel like I told somebody, I was like, oh, I'll see you in another 6 years. Like, dude, I really feel like Goku. Like, probably the next time you see me, I'm gonna have like a 4 or 6-year-old, and we're just gonna be like, what have you been up to? Like, nothing. I just saw you like 6 years ago.
This is what was it? Let's see. So that's Go 10. E10, is that gonna be your?
Ehan. There we go.
This is Ehan.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, you have a child? So be like, yeah, no, he's strong too.
Yeah, found him out back. Take him in, let him wrestle with my dog.
Sorry, youngest Super Saiyan. Sorry, Gohan, you suck. I hate that he gets so like poor Goten gets nothing, and I'm like, youngest Super Saiyan, guys, youngest Super Saiyan, and everyone's like, no, it's all right, forget it.
Yeah, it's like, when did it become a plaything, and then nobody really does anything in Super. We did a spinoff. We have a segment called Let's Make an Anime. So it's a Goten and Trunks spinoff, like what adventures they'd actually go on, and basically is them like trying to, like, we know our dads are cool, but they're just dads to us because they're young. They're not spending a lot of time with them anyway. They don't get to see all the battles anymore. They keep them at home. So what if they went to go talk to people from their past, and Master Roshi was like, well, you should train, the way they did. That way you could understand them. Your dad didn't have a teacher, but this is what your dad did, Goten. And so they start training with Roshi, and they go up, and they're just like flying through. Like, this is all easy up until they get to a certain point, and that's when the adventure begins.
No, it would be cool if there was any certain way that the Dragon Balls went like all over the place. So then these two had to get in this spaceship and fly all across the galaxy. I'm just kidding. I'm just making GT, because then you could literally call it Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Goten and Trunks, and just make that. I would watch that series.
I would watch it too, because they're goofy as hell, and they're meant to be goofy as hell, and it works. Goku getting changed back into a kid and Pan, and then like the older Trunks doesn't really.
Because it was gonna be Goku, Goten, and Trunks, and then Goten was like late or whatever. He was on the phone with his girlfriend.
Yeah, he had a date,
something like that.
Yeah, he had a date. That's what it was. He's a ladies' man. What can I say? He's a
voiced by a friend of the show in that one episode. Friend of the show, Robert McCollum.
The voice
of Goten.
No, just the voice. That's what we call him. Just the voice. Yeah.
Oh man. So Elijah, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at home. No, if you guys want to watch me,
I'll be over at Beverly's. I'm gonna get some pancakes.
Oof, dude, you're killing me right now. I'm making pancakes tomorrow for dinner, breakfast for dinner.
Oh, you're gonna have Brenner?
Yep. Dang. And I'm gonna reverse and do dinner for breakfast. Breakfast. There we go.
It's like here's the jambalaya for breakfast. Really? You're like, yes.
Like I gotta. There's a recipe
now I want
at home.
Jambalaya.
There's a recipe, like you put some sausage and biscuits and stuff in there, and jambalaya the hell out of that shit.
Well, I'm gonna do some red beans and rice today because I went over to Trader Joe's and they had this special like rope sausage, and I was like, I'm just gonna get some of these.
Yeah, dude.
And so I got some rice, got some red beans, got some of my mix.
That's some
Gotta
good
make
shit.
some red beans and rice.
God,
I'm gonna try it in the rice cooker. Well, I'm gonna do the rice in the rice cooker, and then I'm thinking about maybe throwing like some spices in the rice cooker to kind of like infuse the rice a little bit. So we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna see how it works.
You've given me ideas because we just got an air fryer.
Mm-hmm.
That is the truth.
Is it good?
That's the truth.
Because like I was thinking about getting one, but I was like, I don't know.
They're real good. Like we've done everything from trout, salmon, pork chops, corn, asparagus, Brussels sprouts. Dude, we even did like the some of the stuff for our stir fry last night. It's phenomenal. It doesn't take that long either. It's just nice. It's clean. It's neat, and the food just I love it.
It tastes good. Tastes health.
Health, yeah. And I've read about it in books. I actually have a degree in it, but I've never tasted it until the air fryer. So I'm glad that we got that for free. It's a birthday gift. Yeah, because otherwise I'd be eating unhealthy still, having to work out for hours, try to counteract it. But
so where can everybody find you?
If you guys want to watch, like we do the podcast live streaming, or I also play games. Like right now, I'm in the middle of One Piece World Seeker, which is a pretty good game. I love it.
How's One Piece? I know there's a guy named Luffy, and there's a Zoro, and then there's
Nami,
and then there's
Brooke and Frankie and Usopp and Sanji,
Choco,
Chopper. It's so close.
I was close.
You were in the C's, CH's.
There was a Chocobo there once. It was weird.
There's one there too. Yeah, it's fun. You can tell in the beginning how heavily influenced it was by Dragon Ball, but it takes on its like. Every place that they go, every island has its own characteristics, and the way that they make it to the islands, the encounters they have, factions. It's almost like a little bit of Seven Deadly Sins. You have the Navy, you have outlaw pirates, you have the 7 warlords of the sea, you have the 4 emperors, you have the nobles. So you have all these different classes, and they touch a lot of topics. There was a reaction that I was just watching from seen long time ago where it's the nobles. If the nobles can do whatever they want, they see this fisherman, and so they shoot him because he's annoying them. And people, we can't go up against the nobles because they have the ability to call in the admirals and pretty much tear shit up. Well, Luffy and his crew, they don't care who you are. If you're treated wrong, that's where they kind of differ from other pirates. So they're kind of good pirates that just want to do what they want to do, and most of the time they save people. So a lot of action, a lot of adventure, a lot of themes and tones for anybody, any age. But yeah, you can watch that on twitch.tv/Elijah_5000. Go to blackenstudios.com and you'll see all the podcasts from the Elijah Bailey Show, a little bit of anime, Blacken Studios, The Black Box, Superpower Movie Podcast. There's still episodes up of The Warrior Way. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you want to go Instagram, at Elijah_5_1000, all spelled out. Twitter is at real Elijah_5000, and Facebook is Elijah. I think it's Elijah 5000 Bailey. Nice. I don't check too often. I try to talk more. I mainly just post. It's like
post. That's what I do on Instagram. I mean, not on Instagram. We get a lot of people on Instagram, but like Facebook, it's just like I'll do the post, and then. If somebody sends a message, I'll reply to it, but like I don't like go out.
Social media is so crazy. Like we did a poll, like who would win Urza's Scarlet versus Akame, and everybody's like, "Oh, this and oh that," and there's these huge discussions. I'm like, I just like everything. Like whatever you're saying, that's your opinion. Like, and then at the end of the poll, like I think Urza won this one.
Yeah, I don't like your polls. It's like the people that I vote for.
Never win.
Yeah.
What was the last poll before that? Because we did like all female warriors or swords, and I know you're supposed to say swordsmen, but I say swordswomen because they are women. Let's take a look real quick.
Shoot.
I see you wanting to vote, and I see you hold back. Oh, Saber from.
Saber.
Yeah, that
Saber
was
versus the person that I didn't know who the heck that was.
Teresa, the faint smile from Claymore.
It's Claymore. Oh,
yeah. Teresa,
yeah, but like Saber's like King Arthur, bro.
Oh, you need to get on. I can't explain it to you, and it's so hard because it goes to a certain point in the anime where Teresa the Faint Smile is no longer there, and you have to read the manga. And when you get into the manga, you're like, oh, so okay. So that's how cold you are, because I can definitely see you taking on Saber. But everybody voted for Saber.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like, and there was one that you did like. It had been like for that one with Akame, and I'm just like, Akame would probably win that, considering her shit is poisoned. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, but you know, like, people didn't watch Akame get killed.
Yeah, and that's a good one.
But everybody watches Fairy Tail, so
we got this one ending in 3 days. Tamashi wanted to know if it should have a One Piece night or a Hunter x Hunter night. So far, there's 64% say One Piece and 36% say Hunter x Hunter. I just don't know what drinks they'll make for either show. And
well, for the Hunter x Hunter night, it would be hard considering half of them are children and underage. Well, let's see. So they talk about Luffy with his bubblegum arms, right? Mm-hmm. Well, then what you do? You do a Hello Kitty, which is sake and Pepto-Bismol. and it's pink and it tastes like bubblegum.
Okay.
There you go.
I get that. Okay, let me write this down and send this to Wakana.
And she'll just be like, no. But here's the thing, though. Is like, you can drink all that you want, because because you're not really going to throw up, and if you do, it's just Pepto. Yeah. And you get beautiful pink everywhere.
I feel like,
because it'll settle your stomach.
I feel like I'm going to try that when I get home. After my 2:00 show, I'll try it, and then that way I can just be at home. If anything,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like the Pepto will settle your stomach and everything like that, so it won't make you want to throw up. So I mean, you can have like 4 or 5 shots, and you're just like, oh, delicious.
The Pepto is not what I'm worried about.
It's the sake. Yeah.
It just depends. But there's something else I was gonna say, and I forgot. This old age in like live action, folks. What happens? You forget all the time. But yeah, just go to one of those places. You can watch. I'm getting back on streaming now, but every Sunday we have podcasts I stream, twitch.tv/Elijah_5000. The rest of the stuff, you can go to Google, type in Elijah Bailey, and you'll start seeing like all these podcasts. I don't even know how many episodes we've done so far, dude. Like,
but make sure your safe safe search is on, because then you'll get the other side of Elijah that you don't. That's a different side.
You know, sometimes you just got to be free. You got to let people see things that they want to see. They may not know they want to see it,
but then when they see it, they'll be like, "Oh, okay, I wanted to see that."
I was like, man, hey kids, get in here, come on." It's a teaching lesson. This is a learning moment. But yeah.
and we'll put all of those links in the show notes. Maybe not the Not Safe for Work ones. We'll put the rest of the links in the show notes. If you want to find those, you can click on that.
I'll put them in.
Find those. You'll put them in.
Yeah. And I'm not that old, but I just found out what that was. I was like, what is the NS? What does that mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not good with like.
Not good with them acronyms?
No. Just because I like writing everything. Even my wife, she was like, she'll do thank you, like TY. And I'm like, why don't you just write it out? Just write, or use like the phone, just say thank you, and then it'll do it. But I'm learning. This old dog.
I do MP a lot at work just because I don't want to talk to them. So like they'll send me like an IM, and they'll be like thanks. And I'll just be like MP, and then I'll just close the chat and be like, you don't have to respond anymore.
Don't ever talk to me again. Yeah,
pretty much. It's like, I trained you how to do this months ago. Cocoon. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Oh man, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane on. Wow, what was it talking? Yeah, Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast, Twitter at Animate Podcast. All of our episodes available on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, and on our website, animationstationpodcast.com. Again, thanks so much to Funimation for sponsoring this episode. All you have to do is go on to the link in the description here in the show notes. Click on that, get 2 free weeks of anime. Support the ASP, support Funimation, and free anime. So everybody wins. So that's all I got. So thanks again for coming on, man. Oh, you like the little loot crate, loot box, little anime, little ghosty girl?
I always do. Yes.
There's also a cat that is a mech that looks like a samurai. It's a cat.
I gotta see that.
Yeah. So for the Animation Station Podcast, I'm Josh.
I'm Elijah Bailey.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.